Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, have you ever wanted a more perfect, younger version of yourself? Me neither, because I'm already perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on thinking that. Yeah, no, seriously, I am. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I am definitely perfect. Whatever. Anyways, tonight's movie, The Substance.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! Yes! All hope is lost, and yes, all hope is lost for you who think you can escape this mayhem-filled, murderous massacre marathon of mutatiously monstrous money? Anyways, tonight we are fast on the final stretch. Yes, it's the final countdown. Damn it. This cough just does not want to go away. Anyways, it's the final countdown. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. The final countdown. Thank you, everyone. I love you, everyone. It's how you love me so much. Anyways, that. Maybe a little foreshadowing here. Anyways, tonight we are reviewing a movie that came out in the last 4 years. It's like, oh my god, another one? This is unheard of. Well, this movie actually came out last month, and I watched it just the other night, and I'm giving you the review for it. And honestly, this one might be one of the more higher scoring, if not the highest scoring movie I've reviewed. And that movie is The Substance. Yes, The Substance. So what is The Substance about? Well, it is about, it stars Demi Moore, who plays this person named Elizabeth Sparkle. And she is a star of film and screen. And she is celebrating her, what I believe is her 50th birthday. However, she is about to lose her place in her fitness show because, well, as the sleazy studio exec whatever guy played by Dennis Quaid, deliciously played by him, by the way, once you hit 50, well, it's pretty much over, Anyways, he wants someone young and fresh and hot and sexy and young and fresh and young and sexy and young and beautiful and young. And did I mention young? Because young is what he's looking for. So anyways, she's feeling pretty bad. She gets into a car accident, and the nurse or doctor's aide or whatever there was pretty young, kind of like notices, like, her dilemma, and he kind of slips her this little stick thumb drive, and it's got the words The Substance and a phone number on it, and a note that says it's changed his life, or so she pops it in, watches the video about a new better you, and she's just like, oh, this is bullshit. But as things progress, she realizes, like, maybe this is her chance to get back. And so she calls the number, orders the substance, got to go to this shady area in town, picks up this box and a whole bunch of instructions and all kinds of things and syringes and whatever. And she injects the substance and basically births a younger, sexier version of herself. Yeah. But there are rules. You just, there are rules. So basically, you have 7 days as your new, younger self, and you have 7 days that you have to be yourself, and there's a balance that has to be maintained. So it's 7 days young, 7 days original. because the original is the birther, the they call it the Matrix, but everything is dependent on her, the original. So the younger one, the new one, whatever, she's got to get this stuff called stabilizer that she can only extract from the Matrix, the originator. And also she has to make sure that she feeds the Matrix, because if something bad happens to the Matrix, something's going to bad happen to her. But it's also vice versa, because one of the rules is that you are one. You are the same person. You are not two separate entities, even though you kind of are. But basically, you live as that while you're sort of comatose in a way. As the Matrix, and then when you switch back after 7 days, the new, younger version of you is comatose. Anyways, it's kind of fuzzy about whether they have shared memories and stuff and things, but it's maybe they're sort of dreaming it. Anyways, it's weird, but whatever. So there she is, her new, sexy, awesome, younger self, and of course she nails the part to get cast in the new fitness thing, and she's super sexy, and this new fitness thing is flashy, young, hard bodies, doing all kinds of bends and squats, and it's really, really tasteful stuff, But remember the rules. You have to keep that balance. You have to have that 7 days, 7 days on, 7 days off. And what happens is the younger self also has sort of, I guess, the mentality of a younger self. And she decides to maybe try to bend the rules, which has negative consequences for the Matrix. And you all of a sudden get this sort of push and pull adversarial thing happening between the two sides, you could say. And, things spiral out of control as we go along. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore. I am giving this a 5 out of 5. And look, it is all backloaded. Like, the violence and gore in this movie, for the most part, is the final act. And it is spectacularly bloody. It is spectacularly disgusting. It's like, it's raining blood. It's a bloodbath, literally, like blood everywhere. Disgusting, crazy body things. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's, you're going to be watching this movie and you're going to be like, this is supposed to be a 5 out of 5. We're like an hour and a half in. What? Nothing's going on. Well, trust me. It's coming. 5 out of 5. Moving on to shock value. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. Also, there are so many things that are shocking about this movie. Just like the whole premise is shocking. The things that happen are shocking. The graphicness of the things that are going on screen are shocking. So it is really, like, it is not a movie for the squeamish. It is not a movie for people with, like, really, light sensibilities, because it will fucking punch you, especially toward the end. Then it'll grab you and it will basically rub your face in the nastiness. So yeah, it's a 5 out of 5 shock value. Moving on to plot and 4 out of 5. Look, I so wanted to give this movie a 5 out of 5. It's fresh. It's original. The concept's maybe not as original, but it fucking just becomes ridiculous at the end. It loses sense of reality and becomes ridiculous. Another reviewer, I believe, said it jumps the shark. Yeah, it does. It's like, there's no way this could be happening. There's no way that could get to where it was in this situation. Like, no, it would have never gotten to that. But it did in this movie. And unfortunately, I love it that it did, and it's great, but it is nonsensical. And it's sort of, and I guess you could say like the whole premise is nonsensical, but it treated itself seriously and it took itself seriously in that sense, and then it just stopped taking itself seriously and kind of became weird parody of itself, which some might say that's brilliant, but such a tonal shift. And like, look, I liked it with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I think the movie I think it was served better with that tonal shift. This, I don't think was served well for that tonal shift. So I have to give it, I have to be objective. I love the movie, but it can't be perfect if it kind of just drops the ball that way. It's fine if the movie goes off the rails. That's fine. But the way things happen was just like nonsensical ridiculousness. So I'm sorry, I have to. So 4 out of 5. Moving on to acting, and I'm also giving this a 4 out of 5. Look, Demi Moore, spectacular performance. I think Oscar worthy. Margaret Qualley, I think, is the person who plays the younger version of herself, Sue. I think she does a great job. She's really well. She's excellent. Dennis Quaid, as I said before, magnificent performance. Very solid all around. It's just when it fucking does that ridiculousness in the final act, some of the acting just gets dumb. It does. It's like the shooter, get her, that stuff. It didn't meld with me as much as it could have, and it felt forced, and it felt ridiculous, and it felt like we went into a B movie all of a sudden. 1950s B monster flick, and the level of acting in the same standards. Plus, like the whole group of executives really, acting like giddy schoolgirls. I guess that's sort of like what they're supposed to be doing, but I thought it was a little overblown. So yeah, not perfect. 4 out of 5. Still awesome, like great, but you'll find out wasted potential. So moving on to Nudity, and Nudity is a 5 out of 5. It is there, it is everywhere, and it is everything. I mean, and there's a little things for the ladies and the guys who like guys crowd, because there's some man ass in there. So it's not just, but yeah, it's a lot. You see everything pretty much of Demi Moore, and you see everything pretty much Margaret Qualley, and you at the end, which is also part of the whole jump the shark ridiculousness. Like, it's supposed to be some sort of televised network TV New Year's show, and they've got topless showgirls. Like, what American network TV is gonna have freaking nudity on a? They're just like kids in the audience. Like, there's a family show. It's. But anyways, I'm not complaining about it. I'm not complaining about the nudity. But I mean, it is and I had to sit in the front row because it was a small theater and it was pretty much sold out. So it was crazy. And I got to see everything, huge. And it's it's gratuitous, it's graphic, and it's a pleasant surprise for a modern movie, honestly. 5 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor, and this is a 5 out of 5. Never mind the ridiculousness, the problem with the plot, and some of the acting away. This is a movie that is just awesome. I love the story. I love the performances. I love the violence and the nudity, and it made me think. It made me question. It goes completely off the rails and loses itself at the end. But I thought it was still very enjoyable, very captivating, funny at times, and Yeah, a great movie. A movie that I highly recommend to people who like body horror, who like horror movies. And if you can stomach the graphicness of some of the violence and the gooey disgustingness, I think it's a really, really excellent film that should get a lot of buzz. But because of the subject matter and whatnot, it probably isn't going to get much Oscar buzz, which is such a shame because I think this is an excellent movie. It is probably the best movie that came out this year, in my opinion, that I've seen. And maybe the best movie in the last several years. Honestly, it is really excellent. It is a fun watch. It may meander a little bit. It does take a little bit to get going, but once that ball rolls, it's like, boom, just craziness. So yeah, 5 out of 5, and my overall impression is a 4 out of 5. You just can't overcome the problems that occur at the end of the movie. Man, if they could have they could have figured out a way, maybe they could have figured out a way to have it happen more naturally, more logically, but I guess, throw logic out the window. But still, 4 out of 5 is still excellent, still great. And that averages out to a very impressive 4.6 out of 5. This movie, it was so close. I was so close to giving it 5s across the board. It was so close to being that movie that hits all the marks. And I wanted to, and I originally did, but I realized that it would be betraying myself if I overlooked, and there is some times where, depending on the movie, I will overlook some things, and but I literally, when a certain thing happened in this movie, I was like, oh my god, there's no way that happened. And so I have to be honest with myself. That took me out of the movie for a moment. And, it was a choice that I respect their choice, but it was ultimately a mistake. And, I can't, and then when the acting took a nosedive in the final act, not for the main characters, but for the supporting cast. So I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, guys. I wanted to so much because this would have been the first. This would have been, but honestly, this is probably the highest scoring movie I've done, and it deserves it. It is really good. It is really good. So there you have it. The Substance. Tell me in the comment section what you think. Comment below. Have you seen The Substance? Tell me what you feel about it. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Anyways, thank you again for watching another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And remember, internet, to stay scary. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe, notification bells, all that stuff. And yeah, I will see you next time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. The struggle to keep me from coughing on camera. Goodness, man. Sometimes you get a cold and it's just it lasts for 2 days and then you're just perfectly fine. And sometimes you get a cold that lasts for a week and then afterwards it's just perfectly fine. And sometimes you get a cold where it lasts for a couple days and then you're basically fine, but you just have a little bit of a cough that keeps popping up every so often. And it's not it's a constant thing. It's just every so often you're just gotta, it's I don't know. It's weird. It's strange. I don't know. And then it lasts for 4 or 5 weeks, which really annoys the hell out of me. It's God, I was sick. Not that long. I mean, it was not that long. It was it feels like it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. Honestly. It feels like it has been a month since I had that cold, but it probably hasn't been. It's probably been about 2 weeks, but still, it's annoying. Anyways, I should end it now. I'm like hitting the I'm getting close to the 20-minute mark. Uh, once again, like let's driver's safety, people, driver's safety. Like literally, this movie wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that car accident, and she taking her eyes off the road, like looking at a billboard of her getting removed, and just like not paying attention to where the fuck you are. Do it. You just do it, people, really, because then you don't go to the hospital, and you don't get the substance USB, and you don't end up what happens. I'm just saying, drive careful, people.